Okay, so should we go on to Taylor Essuman? Taylor Essuman, I think we both, well, I certainly predicted a Taylor win.
You
I thought
did.
he'd have too
I
much
think
for
I did
Essuman.
as well, just because, you know, the expectation was at the weight he wouldn't struggle. And we thought he'd be back. And for the first 4 rounds, he was back. He was.
Yeah,
I was,
it was
I was
back.
just thinking,
It reminded me of quite a few fights that have gone that way, where a more skilled boxer is able to sort of keep a fighter at bay for a while until they
yeah,
just can't anymore. And what jumps to mind is Amir Khan versus Canelo, where Amir
yeah,
Khan
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
comfortably outboxing Canelo,
yeah,
but he just couldn't do it for enough time. And
yeah.
you see a lot of fights go that way. I, I didn't massively enjoy the fight, if I'm that honest. It didn't. I think for me to really enjoy a fight, there's got to be moments, and there weren't many moments. There was obviously there was a bit of a turning of the fight. Um, After the sort of halfway point where Esserman really got into control. But I never felt like Josh Taylor he did look fast, he looked quick.
He did. He looked
But
really good at the start.
I
He was.
don't know whether Esserman was just feeling him out. I don't know whether he was sort of not good enough in those early rounds, or he was just like,
Well,
this
that's what
is
I thought. In real time watching it, I thought to myself, this is, levels. We spoke before, we
Mhm.
spoke last week about, the Josh Taylor, Ahara Davis fight. And you just suddenly like, okay, well, I thought this guy would put more of a fight than he has done, and you saw the levels. And I thought, again, Josh Taylor with his pedigree, I thought, this is too much, and I don't think Eston's going to be able to get going. But it
No,
was
not
just
again, not dissimilar to Dave Allen, Johnny Fisher, where Dave Allen was losing the early
right.
rounds
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
probably relatively comfortable to do that. I don't think Esserman was really bothered about Josh Taylor's punches.
yeah,
He
maybe.
he did catch a couple that
Yeah,
kind didn't wobble him, but they like made him aware
yeah. Was
that
it
he'd
even
been
in the
hit.
second or third round where he
There was
sort
one
of
very early, yeah.
backed him up a bit? But I was there thinking, I was like, right, podcast will be saying, Josh Taylor is back. And then by the end of it, I was like, well, Josh Taylor, it's like he was back for half the fight. And then after that, Esserman just sort of, I wouldn't even say went through the gears. He just shifted gears and was like, right, I'm just gonna, like Usyk, when Usyk, he doesn't leave an opponent alone. It was like that. And I was there thinking, bloody hell, actually, going into the last fight, into the last round, I was like, I think Esserman could do this now.
Well,
Um,
they kept on flashing the punch stats up, and every time I looked at them, Josh Taylor was sort of heavily up on the punch stats. And I was thinking, this fight really feels like it's sort of already turned. So I don't know how many punches he threw in the early rounds. I don't remember it being. I actually thought for quite a while it was really easy to score. I thought the rounds were so easy to score. It was so
yeah.
easy to just look and go, Josh Taylor's won that round, he's won that round. And then
Well,
when
that's
Esselman
it. Yeah,
started to win them, they were
yeah.
pretty clear rounds as well. Um, so I couldn't quite figure that out, why the punch stats seemed so at odds with what was going on in the fight.
No, I didn't clock that. To be fair, I didn't clock that. I
And
tell
for
you what, this.
once, I actually agreed. It was a guy that does the scorecard on DAZN, Carl Frampton. I actually agreed
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Carl Frampton's scorecard for the first time in my life, I think.
What did he have it at?
I think he had Esserman winning by 2, I think.
Okay. I had a draw in there. I won the rounds at 10-10, so I scored it 115 to 114. To
Yeah.
Essendon.
Yeah, I think the judges were a bit wider. At least one of the
Well,
judges was a
this.
bit. I didn't see it that wide, to be honest.
No, nor did I. But I was wondering. We say about Canelo. When you fight Canelo, you're already 3 rounds down.
Yep.
I wonder whether, since the Catterall first fight,
I think that's a factor.
maybe Josh Taylor's almost carrying like a bit of a handicap going into fights
I think
where,
so, and I think his reaction at the when Ekow Essuman's name was said, I
yeah,
felt like he genuinely was shocked by that, and
he,
I don't know why. Because even if you're in a close fight, you know that it's not definite that your name's going to get read out. You must
Yeah,
know that. You must know
but
that.
that's it. When the cards came in, was it 116? Did they all score at 116, 13?
No, there was slight difference. I think there was one that was 4 rounds, one three, and there might have been one
Yeah,
that was two. I can't remember completely, but there,
yeah.
there was
It
a bit
was.
of
I remember thinking it was wider than I expected it to be. Therefore, in my head, I'm thinking, well, probably going to go to the home fighter because this was the fight for him to be back. That's what I thought. And when they said Eckerman, I was delighted, to be fair, because I didn't expect that. So, if Josh Taylor felt like that, I'd kind of get it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it was a close fight. I just think it's yeah. Josh Taylor. Then I heard what he said. I think it was after the sixth fight, after the sixth round. Spencer Oliver was saying that he'd heard him say, I haven't got a lot left," and that for me is like the takeout for
If
yeah,
only you
doesn't
hadn't
have a lot
said.
left.
If only you hadn't said Spencer Oliver said that. This you instantly lose. That just loses all credibility
Okay,
immediately.
let's rerun it. Let's rerun it. I heard that after the sixth round, when Josh Taylor was on his way back to the corner, he said to his corner, "I haven't got a lot left." And I
Well,
think, yeah,
that sounds right.
that sounds right. But that played out. That
It
played
did
out.
play out. Yeah.
He absolutely nailed it. But it's like I think that for me is like the story of the fight is, does Josh Taylor have a lot left? And has he?
Well,
Is he?
the answer's clearly no, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like it's
because I
clearly
thought
no.
the 147 league,
It was
great fight.
supposed to be the whole 147 thing was supposed to be. He's been held back in his last few fights because he's
Exactly.
struggling to make
Been,
weight,
been
and now
swayed.
he's at his natural weight. That won't be an issue anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And it didn't prove to be the case. It more looked like he's had his rounds now. He's done too many rounds. Like his
That's what he
time
looks
is
like.
up. I'm not a fan of saying people should retire, um, but
No, but
partly
it's,
because I don't like Josh Taylor either. Just retire, mate. I don't. He's an horrible fighter.
I know I like him as a fighter. To be
Well,
fair, I
He's a
do.
good. He was a good fighter. He's just
Yeah.
an horrible person, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Very hard to like. Very hard to like. I said that. And I'm a flippy, and Esserman is so nice. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah. I mean, he was even in his interview after the fight. He was just such a nice guy, man.
so happy for him to win. And I want to see him. Yeah, I want to see him go on and get
And then
because he's 36 as well.
Yeah, he's another Indian summer
Everyone,
fighter.
everyone was every week. I don't know. I mean, the next big one we're looking at will be next week we'll be chatting about Fabio Wardley, won't we? Unfortunately, he's not 36, but for every fight now, I'm going to look at who's 36 because that seems to be
Put your money on that. Put your money on the
right.
36-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely nailed it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think
so
he.
I
Sorry,
don't I don't it's just I don't see anywhere to go. He's not gonna he's had too many fights where he hasn't looked good now. I mean I'm sure he could pick up a fight, but I just can't see the point in Josh Taylor carrying on fighting anymore.
but you're just going to stop her. I can't see the points in Josh Taylor, which feels really harsh, but he's.
What
Who
about
does he fight?
what about Esserman? Where does Esserman go after this?
Brian Norman, who's a champion in the WBO, which is where Esserman's ranked highest. He's out in I think July or June. He's fighting in Tokyo against Jin Sasaki. So I think he'll be in with a shot of getting close to that now. And I think
What about Conor Benn?
Conor Benn. I don't know. Yeah, it could happen. Could happen. Like it's in that division, and
Because Conor Benn, still nobody knows where he's at. Still,
no, exactly.
The Eubank fight maybe proved that he got a lot of heart, but he didn't
Yeah,
really show a lot in boxing ability.
I think Esserman. What I want for Esserman is him to get a title because my new favorite boxer is so nice. So I want him to get a title because I'd love him to do that. But then the money fights. So maybe then he does a Ben. Maybe
He did come out and say he's pretty much only interested in the title, didn't he?
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
he wants.
He's there for yeah. So I think Brian Norman's the one that makes sense. And if he's fighting in June, maybe that's one towards the back end of the yeah. It's June 19th. That's it. So it'll be towards back end of the maybe October November.
Mm. Okay.
Because he's there in contention. So I'd love to see. I'd
I
love
mean,
to see that.
they need to move him quickly. They just need to move him very quickly now. If he's gonna,
Exactly.
if he
Before he
wants.
turns 37.
So now time for a new feature: hero and villain of the week. Rich, do you want to start with your? What do you want to start with, villain or hero?
I want to start with my hero, who was on the undercard. We haven't spoken about his fight. Was on the undercard of the Taylor Essuman fight. Given that such a partisan crowd in Scotland, and it was the cruiserweight Aloys Jr.
Yep.
It was against the Scotchman David Jameson for the Commonwealth title, and he was. I mean, his arms are massive.
I haven't seen him. Like
honestly,
I didn't watch the undercard.
Watch this fight back because it was great. The knockout was phenomenal. Similar to we're talking the way he was throwing his punches, almost Canelo-esque in terms of you don't know whether he's going to land them on the body or on the chin, and so he looked like he kept on going to the body of Jack Jameson. Jameson was going down like that to cover it, caught him on the chin. Great knockout. But that's not why he's my hero of the week. He's my hero of the week because, again, in the face of his partisan crowd, he on his on his gloves, he had these the St George's flag on his gloves, which I just thought was just nice shithousery. And then when he won the Commonwealth title, he put on a crown. He crowned himself in the ring, and then he said, "Thank you, England," as he addressed the crowd. And it was just, I was enjoying his performance.
Deliberate, like he deliberately said that.
Oh yeah. He knew what he was doing. And it was just hilarious. I hadn't seen him fight before. I'll be honest. I really enjoyed his performance. I thought, wow, this guy looks really good. And then it was just the post-fight shenanigans, which made me, because I wouldn't normally clock if someone had a St George's flag on the thumb detailed, but that was obviously a clear thing because he was fighting in Scotland, and I just found it funny. And Aloys Jr. for his shithousery has a new fan in me.
One to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Good talker, good performance as well.
So I'll be honest, it's very difficult to come up with a hero of the week for me because we're in quite a bland period of boxing at the moment. We're at a very low point. That said, I have got one, and I'm going to give it to Dave Allen. And it's because I don't know if you've seen this, but Dave Allen has got a YouTube channel, and he pretty much always records. He records every week. And it's usually him. I think he's on his bed. He usually isn't wearing a top or hasn't brushed his hair or anything. And there's no editing or anything. And Dave Allen is the most normal man in the world. And he did one the other day. And he started his video. But bear in mind, I think he's got about 15,000 subscribers or something like that. He's on the up. And, he's going to get a decent crowd because he's a known fighter. And he starts this video going, but quite a busy day. But I've been worried if I smell or not. And I've been asking people all day, do I smell? Come and have a smell of me. Do I stink? And everyone's going, no, I don't stink. And he said, I got home and I was in the kitchen and my wife goes, you fucking stink.
Well, I think Dave Allen's wife said it's hero of the week.
Yeah, maybe Dave Allen's wife.
Yeah.
But what modern fighter do you know that is going to go out there with that degree of honesty about what is going on in their life? He's not trying to make himself seem like a hard man at all. No. It is a good channel. Though. It's worth a watch. He's entertaining as Dave Allen.
I'll have a look at that. The other one as well I mentioned is the kid, His Excellency, who is talking about investing in Millwall. Which
I thought you were going to say the kid, but for everyone that doesn't know, that's Turkey Al Sheikh because that's what Canelo refers to him as. I thought you were going to say because he's taken Dana White off the promotion for
Oh
Canelo
no!
Crawford, apparently.
Oh, fantastic! I don't know why that makes me happy, but that's my gut reaction hearing this for the first time. I'm happy. I feel like Dana White's a got his thing. This isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know whether it's just like too much too soon. But that's what I've heard.
But then stage right enters Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn's on a real downer at the moment, isn't he? He really is on a downer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he's still got a good
Has
stable.
he got a stake? Has
He's
he got a stake in the zone though? Because he's been big in he moved over to the zone from Sky, and now every fight seems to be on the zone. Big Frank's over there as well, isn't he? So
yeah, maybe.
everything's on the zone. So I don't know whether maybe we'll say he's on down, but maybe he's actually.
I'm sure he's making plenty of bank.
He'll be doing all right.
It's just his fighters. He's having a real rough time with his fighters. Nothing's really going. Ever since that 5v5 where he got absolutely demolished. I mean, make what you will of that 5v5. I don't really care which promoter wins or loses. Like, I don't.
Just a bit of fun, wasn't it? Really, or second.
Yeah.
Well, fun for lads who are getting sparked out, but no. So the reason the kid Turkey is one of my other heroes of the week is because he's looking at investing in Millwall, and we speak about how much he loves the fighting game. And I think the fact he's looking to invest in Millwall shows love of fighting is to take the elite football hooligans and bring them to the Premier League and hopefully Europe. So I think that shows his commitment to the fight, the art of fighting, whether it be Queensbury, Queensbury rules or the casuals in the streets. So
he's got no interest in Millwall Football Club, but he's just heard that there's a lot of fighting that goes on.
Exactly. So he's heard stories. So that's the other thing. One to watch that. And then villain of the week. Who's your villain?
Well, I had quite a few. I already mentioned the WBO for sticking Moses Itama in at number one. But I think it's got to be Tyson Fury. For kind of fake announcing that he was about to come out of retirement, doing a little video with Sugar Hill Stewart. I always want to say Manny Stewart, Sugar Hill Stewart. Let's not compare the two because there is a gulf between them. Let's just get that out there as well. You might have the surname Stewart, mate, but you are a long, long way away.
Pair of golden red shorts. There's not a Kronk boxer, mate.
Yeah. And then making another video less than a week later saying that he definitely isn't coming out of retirement.
Yeah. I mean, it's
just as Fury, and I'm sure he's still got his fanboys that are like just completely dedicated to everything that he does. But like now, there's no boxing to follow. I mean, I'm sure he's going to have a season 2 on Netflix of At Home with the Furies or whatever it's called.
I mean, he can do what he wants now. More money than God and all that.
I mean, can he do what he wants? Because obviously he's super, super rich, but he never got the sponsorship deals or anything like that, did he, Fury?
No. Well, every time, yeah. But we're chatting about Dave Allen and Fury. So whether honest is the right word for Tyson Fury or completely wrong.
It's definitely not. I don't know where you're going with this, but honesty.
Okay. But he just says whatever's in his head at that point. So I think when he was coming back, he thought he was coming back. And now when he said he's not coming back, he thinks he's not coming back. And the truth is probably somewhere in between and he doesn't know. And then, it's just how far he takes it and whether he needs to come back, not for the money, but just because he needs to do it and needs to keep going. And I'm Tyson Fury is best. I loved. But I think with shenanigans like this. So
but does this pave the way? Does this pave the way for Joshua? I mean, Joshua it kind of said he wanted a third heavyweight title. He wanted to be, title holder for the third time. But that's looking unlikely. No matter who wins out of Dubois, Usyk, because they've both beaten him comfortably,
Yeah,
let's say as well. So
yeah,
the next fight on the table was Tyson Fury, which would have made him a lot of money, and probably would have gone to at least a rematch, if not a trilogy. But does that mean Deontay Wilder is back on the table for Anthony Joshua
that's
now?
what I was thinking as you were saying. Deontay Wilder is the
I
could
mean,
be
I,
the one.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'll watch anything pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. I'd watch it.
But
Deontay Wilder.
that's it's not a massive fight, is it? Like, Fury Joshua that's Wembley. That's
Yeah,
a massive crowd. Probably as big as they come. I don't know about the ticket sales for Joshua Wilder anymore.
if there's nothing on the table,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's nothing on the table other than because I think Fury Joshua is a legacy fight. There doesn't need to be a belt on the table.
No, no, no.
I feel like for Wilder, it does need to be. Whether after Usyk, Dubois, all the belts go up in the air and we say, as ever, the IBF gets vacated, then whether there's a vacant title that they could fight for. I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know.
again. I don't even think if a vacant title came up that they'd be in the running right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I
yeah,
honestly don't know, but it's
there's too many other fighters. I mean, I think Parker he's on a
we
really
need
good run.
title
But I
fight.
think I was watching a few of Agit Kabayel's. Oh, I watched his last three
Yeah.
fights. He stopped three fighters in a row with body shots. Like,
Oh,
that's
that's
just outstanding,
yeah.
outstanding. I mean, he stopped Big Bang. Nobody stopped Big Bang just with body shots. He stole his soul in that fight. Did Kabayel?
I put Big Bang down with a question mark next to him, and we were talking about Atoma. But I was like, you're just thinking of names of Aaron's like,
But
could he?
Big Bang has put everyone down, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
he put. I don't know about his entire history, but everyone he's been in recently, he's decked them all at
He's
one point. He doesn't have the engine to get there and finish it
no,
off.
no, 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 no. But yeah. So my villain of the week is said it was. I was wondering about it being Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Because he left the ring, which we've spoken about.
Horrible. Yep.
Horrible. But yeah, fairness.
It's got the loss. So don't kick him while he's down.
No, exactly. But also, having heard his reasons, like I didn't want to say something I'd regret. I get that. And then he was, in the interview I've heard, he was very humble and gave it to Essuman. So I'm not
Okay, fair enough.
But I am going to give it to whoever was responsible for his walk-on medley of songs, which made no sense, and his Choose Life train spotting skit.
So when you say I didn't see any of this, so
No.
when you say he had a train spotting skit, was he sort of running through the streets of Glasgow, sort of jumping on car bonnets and?
No, he took heroin. He took heroin.
he put some suppositories up his arse.
Yeah, when he climbed into a toilet. No, he did the Choose Life skit from.
What did he read it out, or?
No, he did like his own take on it.
Okay.
Choose 147.
I mean, that's not even good, is it?
No. And the way he delivered it is the way I describe it is like Andy Murray on a come down, but early Andy Murray before he'd had any media training. It was as drab as hell, and I was excited for this fight, and it completely killed me because I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then it went from that into into Flower of Scotland. And I was like, okay, right, fair enough.
That's going to G everyone up.
Yeah, G everyone up, especially after the Aloys Jr., my hero of the week, having just
just suck it to the Scots.
The Scottish crowd in a hilarious way. Flower of Scotland gets them going against an English fighter, and it's quite rousing in the way that Josh Warrington would march on together. It's like tribal, so like, okay, you go into the Lion's Den here. Building up into this crescendo, I thought, right, that's going to be into the crowd. And then, then the crowd will just keep singing it over Essuman's entry music. But they cut from Flower of Scotland and go into. If I was to give you a million guesses, I don't think you'd get this.
So it's building something. It's hard to come up with Scottish stuff, to be honest, man. I'm struggling. I'm
Venga
sure.
Boys. Venga Boys.
Oh, so no.
The Venga buses come.
The Venga Boys, I'm sure, was some kind of Euro pop.
They'd have been probably Swedish. I'm guessing they were Swedish.
I'd have gone for Dutch.
Yeah. Either of those. Oh, I guess a thumbs up from me. There you go.
Oh yeah, fair play. Dutch.
Yeah, okay. Well, turns out
excellent. I like the Dutch.
Zoom knows that they were Dutch. But yeah, I was like, what the hell is this? And then it goes from that into Insomnia by Faithless, which if you just missed out,
if you were Faithless and that had happened,
you'd
be thinking, oh God,
you give me 3 songs, I'm not putting those 3 together.
I don't want you to play us after the Venga Boys.
Exactly. How can I follow that? How can I follow the Venga Bus? But if you've gone from Flower of Scotland maybe into Insomnia, okay, all right, mate, get on board with that. But the Venga Boys, but I put in my notes as I was watching the fight, which I'm making notes while I see him, review to this, and I was thinking, and my note was, he's lost the fight already. How could he maintain this concentration? There was so much going on. So that was,
maybe that is. If we split that up, so those tracks, and we split them up right down the middle. So we start, let's say there's 4 tracks there. He's got his sort of train spotting thing going on. Into Flower of Scotland. That's your first 6 rounds. Yep. Where he was doing all right. And then in his head, he goes up for the 7th round and he's thinking, right, I'm at the Venga Boys stage of this fight now. And it just started to go badly wrong for him at that point.
I think so. I think he got up from, as we said, he's gone back to he's gone back to his core. He said, "I don't think I've got a lot left now. I'm all Scottished out here. I've done train spotting. I've done Flower of Scotland.
There's nothing else left that's Scottish.
There's nothing else left." And then it's just like, "Oh, really? We like to party." And I think it goes from there. It was absolutely bizarre. Gone. Yeah.
So shall we move from that high or that low, whatever you want to call it, into we're at a very bleak point in boxing now. I don't know whether this is classed as the summer holiday. I don't know what's going on, but there's very little going on right now for the next month.
Well, there is the Fabio Wardley fight, but it is
have you seen the undercard?
I have.
What are they doing? What are they doing in the stadium? What are they going to do? How are they going to fill the empty seats?
They're going to roll out Ed Sheeran. Look, again, we've spoken about this before.
Of course, your other claim to fame.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's a boxing. So I was when I was back in Ipswich. I was on the way to a mate's to watch Kelbrook against Golovkin. Yes,
the fight they say that basically destroyed Kelbrook's career.
Yeah, it was that. Because that was in Sheffield. Yeah, so we was going to watch that. Stopped at Tesco's to pick up some beer, and the bloke on the till goes, "Do you know who Ed Sheeran is?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, a bit weird. He goes, "He's in the toilet." It was Tesco's was dead. It was about 9:30 on a Saturday night.
Did he have a key in his hand at the time, this bloke?
Yeah. Ed Sheeran just came out, and my mate went, "Should we get a selfie with Ed Sheeran?" I was like, "No." If we want to get there for Kelbrook Golovkin. So anyway, but yeah, I'm Fabio Wardley fight with Jarrell Miller. It sold. I don't know what the latest is on tickets. I'll obviously watch it. I'm not traveling home for it.
What a weird fight. What a weird fight. Fabio Wardley, Justice Hooney doesn't even feel like a headline fight for anything that. Like,
no, it's not. Jarrell Miller was. Yeah.
Just about. Wardley's not there yet. Like, I know you're a bit biased, so you won't really be
Yeah,
able
of
to like
course.
call it, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's knocked out Fraser Clark in the first round.
Yeah.
He's beaten Adelaide, but he's not fighting at world level yet. You know, he's not there.
No,
Like,
I I think the stadium fight, like when the when the fight was announced, I was surprised when it was Miller. I was surprised, like, as in like I don't know if that's gonna sell out Portman Road, particularly as it's Dillian White's on the undercard.
is he?
Yeah, he's Fabio Wardley's manager, and he's on the undercard. I don't know who he's against.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, because his opponent's TBC. They've not announced it yet. Yeah, I did know that actually.
Rowan Moses Atoma. God,
What,
do that.
2 weeks after his
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fight?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Do that, and then we'll get it sold. But yeah, other than that, it's basically local fighters.
Yeah, yeah.
No
I
real
looked at
name.
the undercard, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on with this fight. I don't
Yeah,
really know
I
what's going
actually
on with
feel
it.
a bit sorry for Fabio Wardley because the Portman Road fight is his dream, but it's not a fight for anything. It's a potential banana skin, and I
Yeah,
think I don't know.
I don't know a lot about Justice Suni. I've never seen him fight. I've heard
No,
various things. I've seen his record. I've heard where he's struggled. Um, but Wardley is very raw. There's no doubt about that.
yeah, yeah.
I've seen him clipped quite a few times and
Yeah, we get
not look so great with it. So it does feel like a risky fight.
it does, it does. And I always thought the Portman Road fight would be either a big domestic fight or a world title shot if he got to that level. I don't, and I think Jarrell Miller not doing it, but I guess there's too much tied up in the finances that the Portman Road fight needs to happen.
Got beyond
But
that,
yeah,
what else have we got going on? So
do you
Caleb
know what?
Caleb
It-
Plant's fighting this weekend. I mean,
yeah,
Caleb Plant, he's not a bad fighter, but obviously he's got losses against Benavidez and Canelo. So, you know,
the
you
main
kind of know
thing
where
I
you
think,
are.
but the main thing I think of Caleb Plant now is he said some things about Canelo's mum. That's what I think of when I think of Caleb Plant, which is
He had a
may
decent
come back.
he had a decent go. It did feel like there were levels in that fight.
Yeah,
I think he's made a lot of noises about wanting to fight Canelo again, probably because Canelo has slowed off a bit, and I think it would be a
yeah,
more heavily contested fight this time. I just can't
yeah.
see the point in Canelo fighting him.
No, nor can I.
And then
Um,
other Charlo is
Other
fighting as well.
Charlo. Is it Charlo the younger or Charlo the?
Oh, I don't know which one it is. I mean, they've both more or less got the bloody same name, for Christ's
Well,
sakes.
exactly, it's like Jedward, the Jedward
Yeah,
boxing with the Charlo brothers. So I don't know which one's which. I don't.
I don't know, but nobody likes them anyway, so I'm not really
Well,
worried
yeah,
about that.
Jedward of boxing.
Yeah. Holds up. It holds up.
It holds up. It holds up. So yeah, and then yeah, Venice. Yeah, next week we'll do
Pretty
some.
bleak. What else have we got coming up? Is there anything else coming up?
I think when I was looking on, I was looking on like the bookies, see what's coming up. I think you probably next one we're looking at can't be as far away as
I know there's nothing pretty much up until the end of June.
no.
God, we're gonna have a tough time recording this for the next few
This
weeks.
is going to be a slog, isn't it? This is going to be a slog. Do you know,
Actually, I should have said this a lot earlier on, but we'll throw it in at the end while you're having a look.
yeah, go on.
There is a rumor floating around, right? And I don't know, this could have been anywhere. I'm not saying there's anything in it at all. The Moses Itama is a little bit chilly.
Oh,
I
where's
don't know
that?
what I don't know where that, I don't know whether like somebody's just leaked that, like someone's thrown it out and it's sort of catching a little bit. I don't know anything about it, but it's out there at the moment.
Okay, right.
I mean,
Well,
the problem is probably come from Martin Bacoli because he is the
of
man
course,
that
yeah,
starts all the boxing rumors.
yeah. I mean, boxing. Yeah, there has to be something, I guess. Yeah, there has to be something on him. That's how Miller, doesn't it?
Um, I mean, I don't know. Like the weird thing with sparring is What do you think of sparring? Do you think fighters get knocked down a lot?
Um, well, allegedly, yeah.
Because if you listen to Martin Bacoli, yeah, it's every week. Um, but think about someone like Joshua, like when he got so famous and he's there, a rumor will come out that's like Daniel Dubois knocked him down or something like that in sparring.
Yeah.
Um, but like, surely it happens all the time anyway. Like everyone goes down at some point in sparring because they're doing so many rounds, and
Yeah, you'd expect so. You'd expect there must be. Yeah, I don't know. The fight I can't see it actually on Sky Bet, but I did see Josh Kelly's returning, isn't he?
Josh Kelly is returning in about 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm quite
and
excited. Do you like Josh Kelly?
I like the idea of Josh Kelly. Um,
The concept of Josh.
do I like the concept of like what I mean by that is he's a very, very talented fighter,
Is
but he doesn't throw anywhere near enough punches and he doesn't engage anywhere near enough. I
no,
mean, he fought who did he fight last? He fought that dude that came in late on a Saudi card.
yeah,
Um,
I can't remember.
oh man, I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
But Josh Kelly was by far the better fighter.
yeah,
He danced around, didn't engage, won every round by as much as he needed to, and then he
yeah.
almost got clipped in the
He
final
did, yeah,
round. And he almost like I can't remember the fighter's name. He's been out again. He got beat up really badly the time he came out again. I really want to know who it is now. Hang on.
no. I, I, I love the idea of Josh Kelly as well. And I like that style as a fighter though. When you know, hands
It,
low and
it was
the
Ishmael Davis. That's who it was. Totally forgot.
Ishmael Daly. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Um, so, but I remember when he first turned over after the 2016 Olympics, and he'd be like on the undercard of Eddie Hearn. He was on Matrimony. Eddie Hearn was getting him out a lot on Sky. And there's one fight, or whether it's his second or third fight, and he beat this guy with about 6 or 7 left hooks to the body. Just he had him up against the rope, and he was just and he was just he was doing things you don't. He was, I guess, sort of showboating, but
He's
not quite.
so fast. He's so
But he was
fast.
he was great to watch, and I love a boxer like that. So I really want him to come good. And again, he's in that same weight division, the 147. So just
Yeah.
where everyone seems to be, like all congregating, certainly domestically. So there's some great fights
He's
there.
he's got the thing is with Josh Kelly, I think the disappointing thing with him is he's got bags and bags of potential and he just hasn't quite really I mean, ever since the Avanesian fight where he sort of got dismantled,
Yeah, of course.
he went in there, he actually was boxing very well against Avanesian. And again, over time, the tide turned, Avanesian just started soaking up anything that he threw.
Yeah,
Um and he's got, like you say, he's almost like showboating, but he doesn't do it showboating. He's actually fighting while he's doing it.
yeah, yeah.
And I do like his style,
I
but
like it.
but
I
I
really
think
like his style.
I think
He's one of those I want to be better
it,
than
it
maybe he
it
is.
could have stopped Ishmael Davis. I felt like quite early on, like maybe midway through the fight, but he just didn't seem to want to do anything.
No, I heard an interview of him the other week, and he was saying about how he's matured and he's learned a lot and he had stuff going on in personal life. And I just, when you hear an interview, I want all that to be true. I want him to come and just, and, maybe fight a Conor Ben and do a number on him. You fight Jack Catterall, fight whoever
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that 147 and beat them and look good doing it. And then suddenly it's like, oh, okay, right. You are, you know,
I
you
think I think
you
he's
get a
got it.
World Cup because I
He's
thought
got
he
it in
would have.
him. He's got it in
Yeah,
him. But I'll stay with my initial thing. I like the concept of him better than the reality.
yeah, that's an idea. The idea of, yeah. Well, that's an exciting one. Just his
I
return.
mean, it is, but like in the grand scheme of things, we've got so little going
In,
on for the next month.
in,
We're picking out,
you're right. In the scheme of things,
yeah.
it's. I mean, again, I can't even see odds on it on Sky Bet at the moment. So if Sky Bet aren't letting me bet on it.
It's not far off. I think it's about 2 weeks out, that one, I
Well, yeah,
think.
exactly. I can't see it. I mean, what I can see is Galao fight. One of the fights is out on the 21st of June.
Yeah, I
So,
think we're really scraping now. I think we should wrap it here,
I
shouldn't
think we
we?
should do, yeah, when we're talking about a Galal fight a month out.
We're going from strength to strength on this one.
Yeah, that's how I turned it.